Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike from B Tech Reviews here, and we are live Friday Night Tech Talk. What's going on? Hopefully, everyone's doing okay. I just got off the stream with Magic Tech, and maybe he'll see me on here and join in if he wants. But we are live Friday night, and let's. I guess we're gonna wait to see if a few people come in. Hey, we got Gene Jr. in the house. What's going on? Let's not forget to smash the like button and get things going. Let me know if you guys like the new setup, the new background a little bit. Obviously, the new camera. This camera is way better than my old one. I can tell you that much right now. Let's see. Let's turn on the chat here. We got Gene in the house. Welcome in, Gene. Thanks again for joining in. We are here. We got Jeremy Dops in the house. What's going on, Jeremy Dops? How's it going? Thanks again for watching my. I was doing my other live stream earlier today. Which was my on my Side Hustle Mike channel. So really appreciate you joining in on that one. Not a lot of chatters, but that's okay. Hold on. Let me get this dog's driving me nuts over here. You are driving me nuts. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My dogs are driving me nuts, and that's okay. Let me know how the stream looks. Let me know how it sounds. I'm definitely thinking about upgrading my PC a little bit or cleaning it and maybe getting a better graphics card for it, because I don't know, I feel like the graphics card has seen better days. But let me know how it looks. Let me know how it sounds. Gene says you never miss my streams. Yes, you do, sir. You always miss my streams. You've missed several of them, but I don't blame you. I know you work. I know you have your own things, so don't worry. I'm not knocking on you for that. Thanks for joining in. Even if you watch the replays, I really appreciate it. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get the algorithm going for the YouTubes. It is what it is, and you don't have to delete your comment. It's okay. I know, but it's all good. But what's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everyone's having a Friday night. So I was off today, and I just did a lot of gig work today. I try to enjoy my days off, right? But today, I slept in. And I really just was chilling for the most part up until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I ate a good breakfast. I was just home watching TV or on my phone. And then I finally was starting to get those Walmart orders in. So, most of the afternoon between 1 and 7 o'clock, I was doing orders. I would go do an order, come home, do an order, come home. That's the only thing about it is, I come home, I rest for about 30 minutes or an hour. Another order comes in, I get up and I go. So I'm not constantly doing something. Okay, Gene, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for watching the replays. So you always catch my streams, even if they're not live. So appreciate it. But anyways, I was doing my live stream earlier on my other channel. I did produce a video on this one item, by the way, which is I haven't made the video public yet because I'm waiting for the person that sent me these items to send me a link. Even though I can just get a generic Amazon link, it's the same thing. But I guess if they want to give me their specific link, they can. Honestly, don't buy these though. They're not worth it. They're definitely not worth $30. You can go buy a $20 pair of skull candies, and the skull candy will be a lot better than that. So anyways, and I don't think they watch my live streams anyway. So, but anyways, for the most part, I tried to be as constructive on that specific item that I was reviewing, or overview video, whatever you want to call it. And we'll see how it goes. Again, it's not an item I really wanted to review, but they sent it out to me. So, anyways, I just got off of MTR's live stream. He was doing a live stream. He was kind of talking about what do you call it? We were kind of talking about phone, like I guess your favorite phone brands in general, like that. So we were going over like Samsung, Motorola. Not a lot of people mentioned Samsung, surprisingly. I bet you if Latrell was in there, he would be like praising Samsung, right? But we were kind of going over like more like lower spec phones. Like what was a good brand for like a lower spec phone, right? So like for instance, like a lot of us were talking about TCL, Motorola, whatever cheaper brands they were out there. Even LG, even though LG doesn't make smartphones anymore. Let's take a look here. Watch the replay. Okay, so we got people coming in and out. I don't know exactly what's going on. Let me know if the stream looks okay for you guys, though. I definitely want to make sure the stream quality is good. Like, do I have to turn off my camera? Do we got to turn off the camera? Oh, snap. It's the Tribal Chief. It's the Tribal Chief. What's going on here, guys? Hopefully I sound okay. I know my mic has been giving me problems, guys. So, again, if that's an issue, let me know, please. I'll put my old avatar back over here. I really need to update this avatar, though. It's a few years old, and my face has definitely gotten fatter and more defined the last couple of years. I'll tell you guys that much right now. But yeah, guys, it's just a casual tech chat that I wanted to go over. One of the things I did want to go over, and I need to get on my Twitter timeline to kind of share this with you, is there was a kind of I guess this is regarding the PS5 Slim, right? And again, this was trending earlier on Twitter, aka X, whatever you want to call it, right? Let's take a look here. Let's see if I can share this with you guys really quick, though, and then we'll get this going. Let's go see if I can do a share screen. Let's make sure I'm sharing the correct X-rated site over here. LOL. So yeah, apparently there's leaked footage of this guy. I don't know if this is real or not. This is supposed to be a PS5 Slim. Apparently, it doesn't really look slim to me, but it's supposed to have a detachable area that allows you to pull out the area that has the disc drive, apparently. So I don't know if this is real or not. It doesn't look real in my opinion. Could just be like some sort of like Bluetooth knockoff or whatever. You know what I mean? But in this case, this was kind of floating around Twitter today. And again, let me know what you guys think. Again, it's just a small clip. Maybe it's just like a casting of what it should look like, or a mold of what it should look like. I don't. Obviously, they didn't do like a metallic white on this. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I don't know if that's just the plastic covering, because you can see that it does have like a plastic covering on it. But like the actual PlayStation 5 does not have a shiny or a metallic look on it like this one does. So again, maybe it's just the I think it's just the plastic covering on it. That is the PlayStation logo, though. It does look a little bit smaller than the regular PS5. I was gonna say, I don't know how this guy's one-handing that, though, because like the PS5 is heavy, guys. Like, not one person is just gonna lift it like that. So I mean, you guys tell me, like, what do you think about that? So I'm a little annoyed by all the PS5 rumors and whatnot, just because, I just bought a PlayStation 5, and some sites are actually starting to lower the price of the PlayStation 5, and not just the PlayStation 5. Like, you can get like an Xbox Series Series S cheaper, and I think, we're gonna start maybe seeing markdowns on this generation higher tier consoles a little bit towards the holiday season. You might see a $50 drop on these consoles. I think. Hey, what's up? We got YouTube Experiment. You were chilling in Magic Tech's other streams, so thanks again for joining in. This is my stream now, so again, let me know how it looks. Let me know how it sounds. I definitely would appreciate some feedback, and don't forget to smash the like button, buddy. Again, I hope that Johnny eventually replaces his laptop one day and gets like a nice laptop setup, again, or something like that. I think the laptop he was using was pretty good, so hopefully he can get that going. That way we can, start doing videos like this again and start using Restream and whatnot. So, but again, I'm discussing the PlayStation 5 Slim. This was a leaked footage that happened earlier today on Twitter, and this is actually going viral on Twitter. Hold on, let me turn off the chat and then turn it back on. I don't know what's going on with the overlay. That's one thing about Restream, is it's like very buggy at times. It kind of makes me want to go back to StreamYard, but I kind of like the features that Restream has. So anyways, guys, this is just a general tech talk. So please, please don't hesitate to chime in or, mention something. Again, we were talking about phones on Magic Tech's channel. We were talking about like your favorite brands. For me, that would have to be, let me go ahead and stop sharing this, by the way. Let me know what your thoughts are on the PS5 Slim, by the way, as well. Let me stop sharing that, though. Let me go ahead and get out of there. And who knows, maybe this will be a short live stream tonight. Looks like we got 6 people in the house watching. Guys, smash that like button, please. Let me know how the stream looks. Let me know how it sounds. Let me know what you think of the thumbnail, because I'm trying to get better with these thumbnails as far as like my live stream thumbnails, not so much my regular thumbnails. Obviously, you guys know my regular thumbnails on my videos are kind of trash. I sometimes I get creative with them, sometimes I get lazy. It's just that I realized with thumbnails, and this is the thing about thumbnails is, there's been times where like I try to make a good thumbnail and YouTube still doesn't pick up it doesn't matter. Like, if YouTube's going to share the video, they're going to share it. Like I've had videos that have no thumbnails or nothing good as far as the thumbnail goes, and those videos get thousands of views. But when I actually work hard to make a thumbnail look good and whatnot, my videos don't get any views. So like people, I think the whole thumbnail like analogy is kind of bullshit. Excuse my French. Yes, I think it does help in some ways, but I don't think it's like all like the end all be all when it comes to getting views. I think it's obviously about the content creator and what the creator's putting out. But anyways, how's it going, YouTube experiment? Let me know. Again, I don't know if the chat's just not working. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. Let me get on my main account on my phone over here 1 second, because sometimes it flags the it flags like it flags the okay, why am I not live? What the heck? Hold on, let me click it again. There you go. There we go. Okay, we got 4 likes, so let's continue to smash that like button, guys. It says we have 7 people watching, maybe less, who knows. 7 people watching though, so again, if you guys are there, like, let's contribute to the chat as best as we can. Let's roll call it. Gene, I know you're still there. Jeremy, I know you're still there also. I'm pretty sure Latrell is driving around Chicago right now, or he's riding around on his scooter on a train, something like that. So, all right, let me go ahead and see if I can share this link also with with some of my Twitter peeps over here, or my X peeps over here. I don't want to. Let me know what you guys think though. Does the thumbnail look good? Does it look bad? You tell me. You tell me. Does it look good or does it look bad? I want to know. Let's see if we can get a few people over here in the house also. Go ahead and paste this over here. True phones. Let's see. Send it to Mill Hustles, even though Mill Hustles is a hate. I got the hater. Let's see. Gene says I'm still here. Okay, good. How did you like SmackDown, by the way? I don't know if you got a chance to watch SmackDown, but I got to see a little bit of it. I maybe saw half of it, and then I decided to go do an order. I decided to go do a Walmart order that paid out like $16. It was just like 2 items. So I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'd rather make money than sit here and not make money. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of diving deep back into gig work. Although I'm gonna try to make sure that I try to at least enjoy my days off. You know what I mean? It's like if I do, if I don't, just stress myself out, right? But like literally, I didn't start doing any type of deliveries until yesterday, or actually what? Yes, Wednesday or Thursday. Hold on. Oh gosh, let's see. There was a problem with the YouTube chat. I don't know what's going on with YouTube chat. I don't know. I think it's messing my thing up. But hold on. Let me turn off my chat overlay again. It's not really coming out over here. It's showing it, but it's not showing. If that makes any sense. So let me know how it sounds. Again, guys, let me know how I sound. Let me know how this looks. Like, I can't tell you. It looks like it's okay on my end. Like Restream actually does lag for me a little bit. Like my camera is not keeping up with my facial features, I guess. Which my old camera didn't have a problem with that, but the new camera, for whatever reason, doesn't match up like with what's going on like right now. But it's whatever. Um, but yeah, guys, again, going back to the phone talk that MTR was talking about. For me, if I had to choose like a device, like a device that I would be buying off of like Boost Mobile or Cricket, right? One of those phones that you can still purchase like at Walmart or Target. Want to break your foot? I think one of my dogs is going into heat, so she's like, my other dog's starting to get all crazy with her. But yeah, guys, let's see. For me, like, if I were to have to like go back to like the era where you can like buy a good smartphone under 200 bucks, like, it would probably be Motorola. Like the original Motorola G series. Like I remember the original Moto G, the first Moto G, the second Moto G, and then the third Moto G. I remember the Moto G, the second generation, um, which kind of looked more like a Nexus device if you think about it, right? And they had stock Android on them also. That one actually, I remember that device actually came out with a newer version of Android even before the Nexus devices. So I remember this was the Moto G second, again the second gen. I believe it came out with Android KitKat. I remember it was Android KitKat, or Android 5.0 first before the actual before the Nexus phones. So, and I remember putting a video out on that, and it got like 200,000 views on it. Probably doesn't get any more views anymore. But anyways, I remember like that was a very high performing video for me, and I was like, oh my god, like it was one of my best. It's one of my highest viewed videos on my YouTube for sure. Anyways, oh yeah, I'm watching my own live stream over here. Let me exit out there really quick. No wonder I feel like I'm lagging a little bit. So we don't really have 7 people watching. We only have like 4 or 5 watching because I'm watching on my phone and I was watching on a browser also. Gene says I don't remember. Okay, that's okay. You got Morganta in the house. What's going on, Morganta? I didn't see you in Magic Tech stream, so maybe you were a little busy. YouTube Experiment says I'm trying to get an AT&T SIM card on a cheap plan. Cricket is too expensive for what you get. Yeah, I think that's true. I think what you can try and do is I don't know if AT&T still sells like those prepaid phones at Best Buy that you can buy like in one of like in those boxes that you would be able to get like Boost Mobile and Cricket phones. But if you can find one at Best Buy, all you need to do is just pull it, activate the phone, and then pop out the SIM and put the SIM in like an unlocked phone that you want to use it on, and then just do that or whatever, or just keep that cheap phone, whatever you want to do. That's my recommendation. Let's see. He's saying YouTube Experiment says Boost Mobile prepaid has the one app to spin a wheel to lower the price. Yeah, I remember trying that. You get to do daily spins, right? If you get lucky, you'll get like $5 off or whatever. I mean, you can lower your price, right? For me, realistically, I try doing it every day, and I think I was only knocking off like 10 cents a day. So really, I only saved like $2 or $3. So I just didn't pay the bill. I just decided I'm not going to pay the bill. I'm just not going to. So and that was on like the Moto. That was on the Moto. G Stylus 5G from last year. This is the 2022 model. Still a good phone by the way. The only thing that kind of kills it for me is the size. It's a little big. It's a little too big for my taste, and the 4 gigs of RAM. I think if this had 6 gigs of RAM, it would be perfect, or maybe a stronger processor with the 4 gigs of RAM. Do I like prime rib? I am not a prime rib person, if I can be honest with you. Even though I'm from Texas, right? You think I would be like all into like steak and stuff like that because everything's about eating cows in this state, right? I'm more of like a fajita type person. Like that's the kind of like or like bistec. I don't really like to eat ribs. I don't really like to eat meat that has bones on it. Basically, you know what I mean. The closest thing I'll get to that is like wings or like fried chicken, I guess. Which even then I don't really like to eat anything that has bone on it. I don't know why people say it tastes so good. Like it doesn't really taste good to me, honestly. Let's see. Try US Mobile. I'm on a 100-day free trial. It extends till November 30th. Oh, very nice. Very nice. US Mobile. Let's see. And then Gene says US Mobile uses Verizon's 5G UW. Okay, I see. Yeah, I never knew which US Mobile ran underneath. So for me, you guys already know I'm on Visible. I've noticed that Visible has been kind of like bugging out a little more during the rush hour time frame. Again, I still get throttled, right? I mean, no matter what, even if I'm on the $45 premium data plan. No, like I said, I'm not really much of a steak person, honestly. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just very like plain. I just like to eat like burgers, and that's it, basically. Let's see. I also use Boost Infinite, $25 a month. I've been I've been at Boost customer since it started the early access. Okay. Okay. Boost Infinite. Okay. Yeah. I haven't tried out the service, but talking to another YouTuber, I'm not going to mention his name, right? Because I don't want to get him into trouble. But this person has mentioned to me that right now not to even try it because they are having like a lot of problems porting over numbers, and then the numbers they try porting over end up getting lost or something like that. So it's not something I would want to do. I would rather be on the safe side and like port my number over onto a company that's more reputable, like again Boost Mobile or Visible or Cricket, even Cricket. Even though I'm never going to port my number to Cricket. You know what I mean? Even like Metro by T-Mobile, I would do. So let's see. Gene Jr. says I also use Boost Infinite $25 a month plan. Okay, hold on. I was just rereading the same comment. Borganta, sorry, I'm not into ribeyes though. Definitely. So Gene says he has no problems with the Boost Infinite service. That's pretty good. No, I mean, hey, no complaints, right? For me, like I was live streaming on my other channel earlier today, on the Side Hustle Mike channel, and I was trying to live stream with Metro by T-Mobile, and it bugged out when I was driving in one spot of the city. It like literally just stopped loading on. It stopped doing my live stream, and it didn't pick up until maybe I had to drive maybe about a mile and a half before it picked up again. So I don't know if that was just like a dead spot in my area or what, but oh god. Let's see. Ribeye is boneless and probably could be cut into fajita steaks. Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I think that's true. Actually, you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm not huge on like beef and steak in general. You know what I mean? Like I think like that's what I'll eat is like fajita or beef steak or what else? Just basically ground beef, ground beef or ground meat in general. Like yeah, for being a prepaid service, I think Cricket is a little too expensive, and I think they're for what they give you, I don't think it's worth it honestly. Like unless you're like MTR that has like that bundled plan that he only pays like $100 a month, right? And I don't know if he gets like military discount because he's former military, right? But I wouldn't do it just because like I just don't, I don't know. AT&T in my area, not very good. I did try out Cricket for like 1 month and it was not for me. I'll tell you guys that much. You know what I mean? And again, not worth it on the plan. So, Chula. These dogs are driving me crazy over here, guys. But again, I'm not trying to knock on Cricket or AT&T. Like, if you guys like it in your area, then that's good. Keep it going. It's just not for me. So, but let's see. How's everyone doing tonight? Again, guys, this is a general chat Q&A. So please let me know what you guys want to talk about or ask questions. Let's see. Morganta said I found some grass-fed burgers, patties in our local store. Yeah, so the store I work for, we actually sell like ground grass-fed, like pad. They sell I'm pretty sure they still sell the patties. I'm not 100% positive if they sell them frozen or fresh, but every now and then they come in. So they do sell fresh ground beef patties, but they also sell like the just like the ground meat in general that you can buy like in a sealed package, and you can freeze it or whatever. I have yet to try it yet, so I don't know if it's like the meat's better or what. But let's see. I'm also on the free trial of Mobile X. Dang, Gene, you must be walking around with like 3 or 4 phones in your pocket, man. Honestly. Honestly, it's hard for me to walk around with more than one phone in my pocket. Like I'm only doing that unless I'm like doing like a review video on some phones, guys. So just a heads up, like I normally don't carry around more than one phone on me at the same time. Normally, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen though. So okay, let's see. Gene says I only have one phone. I Okay. Do you have? I'm assuming you have eSIM then. Um, I'm not correct on that. Let's see. I only have one phone with two services. Okay, so then you're going back and forth then? Like you're, I don't know how that works because I don't have eSIM, but I know like some people that have like dual services with eSIM and then their regular SIM card. So, um, Morganta says gluten-free burger buns are a great option to avoid getting sick of gluten or wheat. I've yet to try gluten-free. Like you can get gluten-free like spaghetti and whatnot. I think that's something I do need to cut down on, right? Because literally everything I eat is like has gluten in it. For crying out loud. So, chula, go with grandma. But for me, it's like it's hard because I'm just so used to always having an unhealthy diet. But I kind of need to get back on like getting more of a workout schedule back on and trying to eat a little healthier. I mean, usually if I'm working in the morning, I at least try to eat like a decent breakfast, like a piece of fruit with like a protein bar or something like that. I don't know if that you would consider that and yes, I am aware that corn tortillas are gluten free. I think, but like the way we eat them down here, we fry them in oil, and we give them a lot of grease. So I don't know if that's any better than just eating a regular flour tortilla. You know what I mean? But even then, I'm not like huge on tortillas in general. Like that's not like something that I incorporate into my diet all the time. So corn tortillas, though. What is your favorite tortilla brand, guys? I mean, the thing is, for you guys don't have like the same brands that I have down here, right? So like the brands that we have down here are like Don Pedro's. We have Esquisita. We have the Montes tortilla brand. We have the I forget what it's called. Like because we're so close to the border, we have like all of these like Mexican branded. Um, but like I know like I would say in the northern part of Texas, you start to see less and less of those brands because they're primarily only like down here where I live. So, anyways, let's see. Send my friend a link over here. DoorDash. Whichever one is gluten free. Boost Mobile got some good phones on sale. We might have to check that out. I might have to go to the website and check that out for you guys. Let's see. Oh snap! Hold on. Oh, I hate Telegram. Okay, hold on 1 second. We might have to share that with you guys. Let's see. I'm sure they got some good deals going on right now that it's back to school, right? I do want to check Metro by T-Mobile's website to see if they did go down on the price of the Pixel 6a, just because I kind of want to get my hands on another Pixel 6a, just because they're good devices, man. Like, I really like my Pixel 6a. So let's go ahead and share really quick. Let's go ahead and share this with you guys really quick, and let me know again if the background music is a little too loud. Let's see. NYC has what? Chipotle and Taco Bell. That's sad. I'm pretty sure you can find maybe one or two like authentic Mexican restaurants around there, but I think because like people are just not used to eating that, I think it's a big mix. You got people from like Dominican Republic, you got people from like Puerto Rico, or even Cubans that are like out there. Morganta says which cellular carrier is causing people to lose their phone numbers. Boost Infinite. You can go to Sneed's channel for more info. Okay, yeah. How can you tell which phone is on which network? How can you tell which phone is on which network? What do you mean? How can you tell which phone is on? If you're referring to Boost, it's simple. You can download. There's an app called Signal Check Pro, or you can also download like the speed test app, and it'll tell you which network you're on. So I know that some people, it's going to vary depending on where you live. It could be AT&T or it could be T-Mobile. In my area, it's T-Mobile that is covering Boost. So let's take a look here. So again, going back to school with Moto Edge Plus. So this is a phone that I kind of wanted to test out and try, but even at 149, I think a couple months back it was in the 249 price range. It's obviously gone down, but you still have to buy the phone plus get in the $40 plan. So that's like almost $200 with taxes. It says you can protect your phone for $8 a month, right? So that I don't think that's that bad of a deal. You can still get the Motorola Moto G for $9.99. I don't think that's worth it. I would rather spend the $60 on the Stylus 5G, and that's because it's probably not much better, but I can tell you that the build quality is a little bit better. This would probably be your best deal right now. The iPhone 11 or even the iPhone 12. Look, you can get an iPhone 12 for $150. That's a good deal, honestly, because the iPhone 12 is still a very good device. I mean, we're barely on the iPhone 14, and yes, the iPhone 15 is coming out, right? But the iPhone 12, I think, is a good, solid looking device. So if you can get it for $150 on Boost Mobile, even better. Do not waste your money on this crap of device, what's called the Samsung A23 5G. It's not worth it. Don't waste your money. Do not waste your money on that. I tested it. It lags super bad. The only thing that's kind of good about it is the camera and the screen, but that's pretty much it. I mean, you're not really getting like an AMOLED screen. You're just getting a regular IPS screen. It doesn't look that great. So experience the iPhone 12 for just $199. Okay. Here's a device that you might want to consider getting, right? Which this is probably where it should have been in price range all along, which is the Samsung A54 5G. And I've been using this to make some of my YouTube videos. I've been, hold on, let me turn this off really quick. Gene says on my Boost Infinite service is on AT&T network. Not bad, not bad. I don't know where my dogs went. They disappeared. Gene says my one phone with eSIM is my Pixel 7a. I forget. That's kind of the only thing that I kind of don't want to have to deal with when finally upgrading my iPhone 13 Pro, because this one actually has a SIM card tray. I believe the Pixel 7 does as well. So like, even though they do have eSIM options, I do not really care to switch over. I'm going to have to turn off the overlay again on the chat, guys. I don't know what's going on. It keeps giving me errors. Let me know if everything looks okay, guys, on your end though. So the A54 5G, I think it's definitely worth it, although I think it would be maybe better at 150, maybe 150. And again, you can get some popular plans here, right? 5 gigs of data for $15 a month. I don't think that's that bad of a deal. You can still get that $25 a month unlimited plan, right? I think that's a good steal. Also, if you have an unlocked phone, and you want to try that out, $25 is good. You can also get that on Visible by Verizon as well. So, and we'll, while we're here, maybe we'll check out Metro by T-Mobile's. Yeah. All right. Sorry. My friend's updating me on another live stream he's watching, and he said that he got a $500 super chat on that live stream. I was like, oh my God, maybe one day I'll get $500 super chats on my live stream, but that's okay. Just so you guys know, I do have channel membership and I do have super chats available, and they are open. So, if you guys want to, me to focus on a specific topic also, definitely throw in a super chat and I'll definitely pay more attention to your comment as well. Not saying it's necessary though. You guys already know I'm going to read all your comments regardless, but if you guys want me to, go dive deeper into another specific subject, don't hesitate, Although I know we're all struggling right now, that's for sure. Ooh, and here's the iPhone 14 in yellow, which is pretty nice looking. Here's the new Moto G 2023. This is the one I believe John has. Um, Boost your SIM for $5. International data roaming. So eSIM is a digital card technology that allows you to get your eSIM now. That's pretty cool. And of course, give us your digits. We'll get you a new phone. So obviously, if you port over a number, I don't think anyone's going to want to get the Solero 5G. I just wouldn't in my like. I think this phone is made by TCL. If I'm not correct on it, I don't know. $59. It's probably around the same. I know there's another version of it though. The iPhone 12 sitting at 199 though. If that's the 128 gigabyte model, then that's definitely worth it. So let's keep going. Okay, I think that's it. And earn free mobile service. So again, this was something that I think Jeremy Dobson mentioned earlier, saying that you download this app and you can earn so that you can lower your bill. Holy crap. Holy crap. Yep. Hello. All right. So that's not bad, guys. Sorry, I was reading some messages that my friends were sending me. I think if you guys really want to transition to iPhones, that would be actually a good deal as well. Let's click on deals. Let's see what's going on, guys. Ooh, you can even get yourself a TCL Tab like Lite for $90. Okay. So we were talking about this earlier, me and John, that TCL kind of dropped the ball when it came to when it came to stuff like their devices, especially after the 20 series phones. They just aren't good. Okay, guys, is the chat still working? I don't know. Let's see. I don't think so. I think it got stuck on Nightbot. Let's turn off the chat overlay for now. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to refresh the page either. I just updated Google Chrome also, so I don't know if it's because it's the new version of Chrome. But anyways, an Apple iPhone 8 renewed. I don't think I would get an 8. I would rather get like an SE second generation. Definitely higher processor and better camera in general. We were talking about Nokia phones as well. Like, has anyone used or bought a Nokia phone? Like, I do want to buy a Nokia phone unlocked, just to kind of play around with it, just to see kind of what they have to offer. Because again, $30 and $40, that's a really decent steal. They're marking these phones basically off $100 a piece. You can get the Apple iPhone 12 mini. I wouldn't recommend getting a 12 mini just because the battery life on it just sucks. I had a 12 mini, and even though the phone is pocketable and it's fun size, right? It's definitely easy to use with one hand. The battery will die on you. You will have to charge it like 2 or 3 times a day. You can also get an Apple iPhone 12 Pro for $720. Again, these are okay. I don't know why they would say that the iPhone 12 Pro is $1,200, especially in 2023. Definitely not a $1,200 phone. Marked down from 20. The only thing that would make this $1,200 is if it was like the 500 gig model. Let's click it and find out. The A14 Bionic. It's when they started using those triple camera setups. By the way, actually no, I think they started using the triple camera setups with the 13 Pro. But let's double check to see. Yeah, okay, no wonder this one's marked down. It's a 512 gig version, and you guys can see I just highlighted it right there. So that's why it's marked down from 1200. So yeah, those extra memory will kill you. By the way, my current iPhone only has a 256 gigabytes. I think this phone is probably slept on a little bit. I don't have it, unfortunately, to say it, but just the specs in general. Again, you get a very nice looking and big screen, 50 megapixel camera. Android 12. It does have a Snapdragon 8th gen series over here, so you are getting a Snapdragon processor. opposed to like, you know, a MediaTek or something like that. I think that's what's kind of, you know, putting this one over compared to other devices in its price point. You know, again, something I mentioned earlier was that I think Motorola has an opportunity when it comes to their cameras. I don't think that their cameras take very good video, and even their pictures are really not great. But, you know, with 50 megapixel camera, like at this point, like I don't care how big the megapixels on a phone are. Most phones in this price range have 50 megapixel cameras, but like, look, do I need a 60 megapixel front facing selfie camera? Like, I'm sure it takes good like selfie cameras, you know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to take that good of you know, pics or whatever. It does, and look, it has an OLED screen, by the way. So OLED, 6.7 inches. You're basically like a mini phablet at this point, or a mini tab. 144 hertz, and HDR10 plus, so that's pretty good, right? Again, Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, sound apparently noteworthy inspiration. So it's got a lot of good things, and I think this phone is already 1 or 2 years old. Also, the Moto Edge Plus. I think this is from last year. Yeah, it's the 2022 version, but I think this phone is definitely slept on. I definitely need to kind of look at more review videos on this device. It's to me, it looks like a good looking phone, very nice and slick. I don't know if it has an in-screen fingerprint sensor or whatever. It doesn't really. I need to kind of look back into that, I guess. Security. Let's go into security. Let's see. Battery. It's got a 4,800 milliamp battery, 8 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, guys. Oh my goodness. I mean, yes, it's running Android 12, but hey, it says, okay, Mark Hill says Motorola's got decent camera. They got okay cameras, but I think, you know, they have an opportunity to, you know, get better camera setups. You know, I think it all goes back to the UI and the software itself, right? The Motorola camera app, right? You know, it's definitely, Motorola is definitely more a little bit on the stock Android side than anything else. And what's up, Mark Heel? Thanks for joining in. Hey, we got CV Tech in the house. What's going on? Let's see. CV Tech says it's side mounted. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. The fingerprint sensor. He's saying it's where the power button is. Okay, that's good. I own it, and I'm putting out my 6-month review on it soon. Yeah, and CV Tech, you can chime in and you can tell me, is this phone worth it? You know, I know this was a few $100s more a couple months back. I think this one was still going, look at that, for $749. This is basically Motorola's flagship device that's not a foldable phone, by the way, guys. So if you're looking at, like, you know, the Motorola Razr, which I know they're coming out with a new Razr phone also, this is pretty much like their flagship device now. You know, I never had the original Motorola Edge, but CV Tech, since you're there, I don't know if you want to chime in on this, if you want to comment, or if you want me to send you an invite link, I can send you an invite link. You can talk about that as well. I'm gonna get some water really quick, guys, while you guys are still commenting. I'll be right back. Hold on, let me not forget my mustard over here also. Sure. All right, sorry guys. I'm looking for my dog, and okay, she's over here. She's been over here this entire time. Okay, that's good. I thought she was stuck outside. Okay, CV Tech says the video will be released tomorrow, so stay tuned until then. Okay, sounds good. I really appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. Again, this phone I might consider getting just because, you know, I'm definitely thinking about just getting the Boost Mobile version of this, but I don't know if I want to spend the $200 because you do have to get this with a plan. So, but it comes with 512 gigs of internal memory on on this, that's freaking crazy, guys. Like I could literally use it as an external hard drive, guys. That's how, you know, I could just literally buy it and be like, oh, external hard drive. Well, actually, no, you can probably get an external. You can probably get like an external SSD for cheaper than that, but you know, it's good to have. You know, I do want to get rid of my Motorola Stylus 5G and whatnot. So, it's up to you, man. I've been on for about 45 minutes already, so I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go. But if you want to join in for a little bit, we can talk a little bit longer. It's not that late yet on my end, so I can definitely go a little bit longer. Yeah, let me go ahead and send you that link. I was actually inviting like Tito also, but he said he was out having ice cream with his kiddos, so I told him that's fine. Just let me know if you want to join in afterwards. Give me 1 second here. Crazy fools. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and send him the invite link really quick. Let me find you on X. I'm using Restream right now, buddy, so hopefully you don't have too hard of a time. I use Restream majority of the time, so I used to use StreamYard, but now I'm more about using Restream. So let's get that going. I'm gonna go ahead and send you the link now, buddy. So crazy. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm over here responding to a message. My friend's watching a live stream on stuff that I usually watch after I watch wrestling. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. I'm gonna get my headset back on because I took it out. Let me get both of them in really quick. That's what she said. Where the heck did my tissue box go? When I want to blow my nose and I can't because my tissue disappeared. Oh, okay, it's up there. Anyways, guys, so I think the Motorola the Motorola Edge Plus is a little bit slept on. We still got 8 people watching. So those are the deals right now. But let's go to shop phones really quick. And let me turn off my camera because I do got to blow my nose. Is the music sounding okay, guys, to you, by the way? I don't think it's that loud. I think I can higher it a little bit, actually. There you go. Turn off my camera real quick so I can blow my nose. Excuse me, guys. My allergies have been kicking my butt big time, by the way, guys. So let's go back to the site here. So Apple iPhone 12 Pro 7. I think that's a pretty good deal considering, you know, I definitely don't want to spend more than $500 on an older model iPhone, though. The 11 Pro is also like $630, so it's like I don't think I would go with the 11 Pro just because I didn't. The 11 Pro has more of a round design. They started using kind of like the I wouldn't say the square design, but like the square sides design on the Apple 12 and up, though. So that's why you should either get the 12 and up, basically. Apple iPhone 14 829, and the camera system's not much better, but you know they do have the video. I think what kind of sells me more on the Pro models and the 12 is the video, basically. So let's go from lowest to highest. Let's go from low to, so you can get the Moto G 5G for $0. Oh my gosh, it's a good deal. Okay, hold on. What am I missing here? Okay, let me see. Let's go back to the chat here. Okay, Stevie Tech said give him a second. So Nokia phones, the Galaxy A13 LTE is only $25. I'll give Samsung one thing. They're doing a good job making sure that all of their phones look the same. So even if you get like a cheaper version, like, you know, like let's say you can't afford the, you know, the Samsung Galaxy, you know, S23, you know, you can get the A13 LTE and it's still going to look somewhat similar to their flagship devices. I think that's funny. These Nokia devices, which definitely I do want to look at. I definitely think I want to get like, hey, we got tech for your needs in the house. What's going on, tech for your needs? Thanks for joining in. It's been a minute, man. I haven't seen you in a minute. The one night I'm streaming and Latrell's busy, not. That's okay though. What? All right. Hey, we got tech for your needs in the house though. Thanks again for joining in. And you are listening to B-Tech Radio. Give us a call. Just kidding. So we are checking out Boost Mobile deals right now. If you guys are interested in getting a Nokia G100, this phone does look very plasticky right now. What are the specs on this anyway? I'm pretty sure these have like MediaTek processors. Oh, actually, no. It has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 662. Wow. Octa-core. Wow. Android 12. That's saying something. Okay. 3 gigs of internal, or 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. Not bad. But it is expandable. 5,000 milliamp battery, and it's a 6.5 inch HD plus. I hate it when they say HD plus because these screens, they all look the same to me, honestly. It's got USB Type-C from the looks of it, though, so not too bad. All right, let me go let my dog in real quick. 1 second, guys. Move out of the way, doggos. This dog thinks I'm going to give her a bone, but I'm not. We're getting the headset back on. Let me know how I sound, guys. Let me know. Like, the cool part about the microphone I'm using is like the microphone has a headphone port that I can connect like a headphone set to or whatever, and I can change my audio output to the headset rather than the speaker on here. So okay, so it does sound like CV Tech is getting ready to join in. So let me go ahead and add him in. He doesn't have his camera on, but I'm hoping he's ready. CV Tech, if you are ready, just kind of say something so I can see the little thing moving. I think it'll move, hopefully. We'll see. Usually it does. Okay, the music is a little loud. Let me lower the music a little bit. Okay, he's giving me a thumbs up. Hold on 1 second. Let me lower the music a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and have him join in really quick, and we'll go ahead and change the aspect ratio of this. There you go.
Welcome. Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me all right?
Oh, yeah, I hear you great.
All right. So what's going on, man?
Keep on rolling, baby.
You know what time it is.
It's going good. Again, I've been streaming. I was on the MTR stream earlier. He was talking about stuff, and now I'm over here. I decided to get on for a little bit, so I was like, okay, let's just do like a general chat or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Magitech was even live. Never got notified for it.
Oh yeah, that is kind of weird. That's why he says to unsubscribe to him, but I think you just got to turn on all notifications for him. So
yeah, I'm just kind of right now laid back, relaxed for the evening, and yeah, I didn't feel like having to get everything out of the way. My chair that I sit in is right now it's like stock full of stuff, and I have to go through like 10 minutes of rearranging just to cut on my camera. So nah, I'm good.
yeah, it's all good. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of going through some of these devices here on the Boost Mobile website. I've never heard of this one, by the way, the Boost Mobile Bounce. I think
it's a waste of money, waste of time.
Lady Red or somebody had made mention of this phone. $50. Yeah. You got better spec phones that are expensive than this, but look at this MediaTek 6762V. Like,
pitiful. Stuff like that shouldn't even be allowed to even be made anymore, honestly.
Yeah, sold in America or something like that. I mean, typical Chinese branded phone probably, or I mean maybe I don't know. But
I know you was discussing the Moto Edge Plus 2022. I've had that phone for about 6 months now. I got it. I paid $199 for it, which I already had service with Boost Mobile. I've had it for right at a year now,
mhm.
and they gave it to me for the sale price, which was kind of crazy. Um,
Nice.
and I'm like, I made my post the other day. I'm like, new series coming out. Should you waste your money? Because when it comes to cell phones, most of them are a waste of money because most people don't even need them anyway, but or need a new one or whatever. If there's,
Yeah.
and when I say that, I mean like going from like a Z Fold 4 to a Z Fold 5 or a
Mhm.
22 Ultra to a new iPhone from a previous iPhone, stuff like that. So this new series is going to be about taking like older phones, newer phones, and hey, should you still waste your money on buying this phone? Kind of crazy, something different. It may work, it may not work, but
Hey, that's
th-
that's
th-
good. I'm down to watch that though. That's interesting. I like that. I like the concept.
this the I wanted to make the Moto Edge Plus 2022 one of those videos, but I kind of made the video before. I've had that video made for like 3 or 4 days, for a couple of days now, and something happened. I've done some change into some of the balance, or whatever, and it screwed up the video. I've had it uploaded twice, and it looks like that I am a shiny tomato. I don't know why, but I cannot get that. I cannot fix. I cannot fix what I screwed up. Um, so I'm trying to fix it, trying to upload it, and trying to redo this and redo that. But my 6 month review, because I kind of forgot it. I mean, I've been using it, but I just kind of forgot to do any kind of videos on it.
Yeah.
And I can just say this here: you won't find a better phone for that price.
Okay.
You won't. Never. You'll never. You'll never, 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 never find a better phone for that price. I mean, you got an 8 Gen 1. You got 8 gigs of RAM, 500 total gigabytes of storage. Cameras are decent.
Mhm.
That's an OLED display with stereo speakers. I mean, that right there alone is enough.
Yeah.
Cameras, never been Moto's strong suit.
Yeah.
I don't care how high the Moto device is, it's never been their strong suit.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's better than most Motos I've ever seen. Of course, if you're in great lighting or it records in 8K,
Mhm.
believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
I never record in 8K because to me it's just a waste of storage. But you can record in 4K in the front, 4K 60 in the rear. I mean, you really can't beat. You can't beat it. But the video's coming tomorrow, so everyone be sure to check that out as well. Here, and
Well, speaking of the Moto Edge, right? Plus, I mean, I know you're talking about last year's model, and that's the one you have, right? But they also have a 2023 model, which I just was made aware of right now, I guess, right?
honestly,
So,
I've researched it, whatever, and there's
Yeah.
not enough. There's not enough changes. If you have the 22, about 23, that's
yeah,
why I say should you waste your money? Because I mean, it's just a waste.
yeah. I think maybe the overall design maybe looks a little bit different, right? If you can look at the pictures here, right, you can tell they kind of changed the camera to a square cutout. But the square cutout is kind of I wouldn't say going away, but like Samsung got away from it, like Google got away from it. So I don't know why Motorola is trying to, I guess, be like Apple or maybe even like OnePlus, right? In a sense, right, where they're trying to do like those big cutouts. Same specs. The only difference I see here is Android 13 over Android 12. And has your phone updated to Android 13 by any chance?
Not yet. That's one thing that Moto is a screw up on. Is it's still on February security patch and it's still on Android 12, but it's supposed to get Android 13. I just don't know when. Does it make the phone irrelevant? No, because honestly, the difference between 12, 13 is so minor and minute that it's not really worth it. Or worth it, because some will say, "Oh, it's got Android 12. It's just not worth it now." Bull. To me, security patches is the most important thing in a phone. I think that all manufacturers should. I mean, even to the least manufacturer should be mandatory 2-year security patches.
Yeah.
If not monthly, at least a quarterly. Every 3 months, you ought to release a security patch because things happen. So that's one thing about this phone that I'm not really understanding is why it's just not getting any updates. But Android 12, it's supposed to go to Android version 13, and for a phone to cost $750 regular price, and that's flagship territory right there. You know, I mean, and they are no better updating the phone than that. I mean, come on. I mean, we all know that Motorola is not Motorola anymore. Anyway, I mean, it's made by Lenovo, and Lenovo is a Chinese manufacturer, which,
Yeah.
like I said before, people would be like, "I would never buy this phone," but then I say, "Would you buy Motorola?" Absolutely. I'm like, well, you know that Motorola's now Lenovo, which is the same company that this other phone that you said you never buy because it's from China.
Yep.
Now, it's the same thing. So it kind of blows their mind because they don't understand all this stuff, whatever. I mean, even iPhones are made in China. Come on.
Yep.
So Pixels are made in China. So I mean, yeah, they might be designed in the U.S., but they're not made in the U.S. So,
yep. Very true. So yeah, again, like going back to the 2023 version of this, I'm seeing minor, like spec bumps. Like this one has the the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 instead of the Gen 1 processor, right? It's got a slightly smaller screen, but it's got a higher refresh rate, a little bit of a higher refresh rate. I wouldn't say by much.
Well, I think that 165 is only available for gaming.
Yeah.
I know that it's got 144 hertz on the 22, and is it butter smooth. So yeah, going to the 8 Gen 2 from the I could have swore that the 22 had the 8 Plus Gen 1, but the 8 Plus Gen 1 didn't come out until late last year, and this came out in March, so it wouldn't have had the 8 Plus, but the 8 Gen 1, like I said, people complain about, the Galaxy 22 Ultra, how the 8 Gen 1 got too hot, battery life sucked.
Yeah.
Well, what I've noticed is that, like I had the S21 Ultra, right, with the 888, and then I had the OnePlus 9 with the 888. Well, the S21 Ultra, you could fry an egg on.
Wow.
I mean, literally, it got so hot, battery life was so bad on the 888 with the S21 Ultra, but on the OnePlus 9, the 888 ran perfectly, never ever heated. Battery life was great. So in some phones, like the 8 Gen 1, yeah, the Galaxy does get hot. The battery is not that great. However, in the Moto, it does just fine. So I mean, you can't call a chip like the 8 Gen 1 pure trash because a chip is going to run differently in different types of phones.
True. Okay, so going back over here, I'm just looking at the Z Flip 4, right? I know there's already a Z Flip 5, I think.
Yeah, dude, I was so close to pulling the trigger on a Z Flip 5. Yeah. Not even going to lie, but I just had to kind of reframe myself. They're going to give me $400 for a Pixel 6 Pro.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And plus, yeah, and I was kind of toying with it, but I thought I refrained.
Well, it's all good, buddy. I guess right now we're starting to get into the higher price phones over here on the Boost Mobile page. I'm on like page 3 or 4 already. So like we're getting into iPhone territory now. So like the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 11 Pro, the $700 and up phones. You can get the S23, I believe, over here. Let's see. Where did I see it? The S23 for $799. Definitely don't know if that's worth it or not. iPhone 14 regular $829. That's pretty much in the ballpark of where it should be, though. Not really. These are really not on sale, but the Z Fold 3, right? That's one of Latrizzle's phones over here. Shout out to Latrell, by the way. He did comment, by the way. He said he bought a Flip 5. Okay, I'm still waiting for that video. So
yeah, I like I said, I mean, I was on the checkout screen. I was actually on the place order screen on the Flip 5 with a Pixel 6 Pro trade-in, and I think like a $50 bonus for pre-order or whatever, and it was gonna be like $6 something after everything, and I was like, God, I got a Samsung account. I mean, I have a charge account with them. It's just making payments every month for 24 months, 0% interest. I could do this, no problem. But I was like, do I really want to add another payment that I really don't need at the moment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I just like, you know what? I said cancel, backed out, and I just kind of, because times are a little tough right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Like I was out doing today's my day off, and I was out doing gig work pretty much all afternoon. So I was kind of in and out of my house all day, picking up orders, using that extra money to just pay my light bill, man. My light bill was $350 this month. Thank you,
God.
thank you, Texas Grid System, for
Oh my God, dude.
yeah, $350 a month where I live at least.
What in the world are you running?
I need to go back and check my light bill, but I'm pretty sure we're wasting more than 2,000 kilowatts.
Oh my God.
That AC, man.
Yeah.
It's that AC, and especially with rates going up, even the rates for your light went up. So Latrell,
Yeah.
how much longer are you going to be on? Probably only for like another 20, 30 minutes max. So I've already been on for an hour already. So but CB said he wanted to join in for a little bit. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So yeah, Z Fold 3, it's like what, $700 off right now, so you can get it for $999. I don't know if that's a good deal, Latrell. You tell me, because I've never owned a flipped or a foldable phone, but I think it'll eventually come within a year or two, hopefully, for me.
Dude, you can buy a Z Fold 4 on Amazon brand new for like $1,100, man. I think. I mean, why would you buy a 3 and you can buy a 4 that, from what I hear, is better? I never owned one, but
Z Fold 3 was the latest version. I don't keep up with Samsung phones, if I can be 100% honest, to know, because they make a new phone every like 6 months, so it's for me too. It's really hard for me. Again, I got to give them props for having gotten. I believe they've gotten the whole foldable phone thing down, though, opposed to other companies like Google and Apple and whatnot. You know what I mean? I wouldn't consider the Microsoft Surface phone, or whatever you want to call it, a foldable.
I love my Surface Duo, man. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that phone.
Because I think you can find them pretty cheap now. At least the first gens. I think there's 2 generations now.
Yeah, the first gen and the second gen. The second gen, has that domino camera on the freaking camera is stuck on like a domino, and it looks stupid. And there's no way to really take video or pictures or whatever unless you want to have like the whole phone open, and it just looks stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like the first generation camera really kind of sucked. I mean, it ain't the best in the world, but at least you'll flip it all the way around and use it as a front facing or as a rear facing, because you got screen on both sides. But I tell you, I love the Surface Duo, man. That phone got a bad rap. Now, it was pretty bad at the beginning, but it's got like a ton of updates. I'm telling you, man, I use that phone for a lot of things, and that phone has been such a help in certain things dealing with like my channel. I can do pretty much whatever I want to do with my channel, changing with that phone, because it's just, I love that. I mean, yeah, it has a little metal bar down the center of it because it's 2 separate screens, right?
Yeah.
But God, that phone is so, even though, yeah, it's not like a Pixel Fold or a Galaxy Fold or something like that, and it's completely different design, I love it, dude. I'm telling you. I mean, it's just, I like it. I mean, and you can use it like in like a flex mode, where you can do like with the other phones. You can have one end sitting down, one end folded up, where you can sit there and watch a video on top, or you can.
That's kind of what sells me on it. Like, just for a little feature like that, like if I'm like on break at work and I have my phone sitting on a table, I can just like kind of like sit it up and whatnot like that. Flex on people a little bit, like, oh, you're holding your iPhone up when I can just do this. You know what I mean? Like, even though I use an iPhone daily, so I mean, it is what it is, though. Like,
yeah,
I don't really care. But Latrell says he wasted 1,600 kilowatts on his light bill this past month. Ouchies is all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're getting close to like the 2,000 on my end. And I bought a new window unit for my room because, like, our house has like we have AC, right? but like my since my room is converted from a garage, it gets a little bit hotter in here. Today, because the insulation is not as good. So,
yeah.
I have a window unit that's like, in part of the wall. So like that window unit probably is the reason why my light bill is going up. Cause I leave that thing on all night, dude. I have to have my room like cold, man. Cause if not, I can't sleep. I'm like sweating. I am sweating really bad.
Oh, it's got to be cold, man. I can't stand being in a hot room. It's just don't work. And this room that I'm in right now, it gets to like 85 sometimes. So if you're freaking sitting here with the LEDs on with the door shut and there's no ventilation, man, I'm telling you, you about to die.
Yeah. Damn. Now you got me thinking about this Moto Edge Plus 2022 over here. This is
It's severely underrated. That's for sure. I mean, like I said, I got my video coming out. It's just like a spoken review, I mean, I put it in the video that people wants to see, gaming, sound test, video test. I mean, I don't really do picture and video tests as far as like I used to, because I don't get out like I used to, but anything else, because I would have added it to the video. It just makes so much more longer. I'm trying to keep my videos shorter because I try to keep my videos short to begin with, but they always seem to be around 15, 20 minutes, and I don't like that. So, keep around 10, 11 minutes, but it's hard to do. I mean, how some makes a full review in 6 or 7 minutes. I'm like, how in the world do you freaking do it? And I guess it's just because I go more into it, I guess you would say. And it's just, it takes a lot longer. I try to cut out all I can. Sometimes it's going to be 15 minutes regardless.
Hey, it's okay. I think everyone has their own way of like talking about phones. I've known in the past I can do like up to 30 minutes about just talking about a specific device or whatever, or even just doing like an unboxing and an overview video can take like 15 minutes plus. Like I don't really like try to limit myself on the time it is now, even though a lot of people don't like to watch past like the 5-minute frame because everyone's got short attention spans nowadays. But
that's what I was going to say. I think that TikTok and stuff like that has really made everybody's attention span down to like a minute or two. I mean, it's amazing. You look at your analytics on YouTube, and it's like the majority of the viewership drops off after like the first 2 minutes. I'm like, how can you actually get any information on a 10-12 minute video in the first 2 minutes? And then you want to ask questions that's plainly in the video and you want a response. Yeah, my response is watch the video, or and then you'll get your answer. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we don't sit around and take all the time in the world to put everything into a video. Just for you to ask a question that's plainly in there, just watch it. You know what I'm saying? So they won't get a response. And if somebody leaves a comment giving the answer, I'll just delete the comment. I'm like, they can watch the video. If they wanted it bad enough, they can watch the freaking video. So that's just how you don't spend all this time making videos, sitting down, doing it all, editing everything, uploading it. So there's a lot more into it than people think that there is. So, I mean, it ain't just to sit down, do a video, upload it, boom, you're done. No. A lot more goes into it than that. And anybody on here that's a YouTuber knows there's a lot more goes into it than just making a video, uploading it, releasing it. Okay, you're done. No.
Well, definitely, if you get on Amazon right now, the Moto Edge Plus from last year is still $500. It is discounted, but it's still. Keep in mind this is unlocked to people, so you can put this on any carrier. You can take to Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. So there's that. They do have the first gen, I believe, which came out in 2021 for under $300. This one's $227. It had a good look to it, honestly, but.
Well, it's like I said in my video, I mean, I even said that as well. Like, this phone still costs $500 on Amazon new. Pre-owned or renewed is $449, so you might as well spend $50 more and buy the new one. But I just, there's so many phones out there around that $500 price tag right now. like maybe like something that's going to give you better updates, maybe something with better cameras, it's around the same price, like the Pixel
Yeah.
7,
Hmm.
stuff like that. Whatever, it's going to cost you around four something right now, cheaper than that phone. And I'm thinking I would have a very hard time recommending this phone to anybody for $500. But now 300 or less all day long, but 500. That's just a little to me. I can't. I just nah.
Squatchin Main says every time you say like costs you 1 more kilowatt hour. What the heck? Okay. Like costs over here.
But yeah, 500. I
Yeah,
mean,
100,
I
yeah.
just don't see it.
I think what Boost is giving away, or Boost is basically giving the phone away. If they're cutting the price that much, man, that's like,
I mean, dude, I went on there. It says you're eligible for an upgrade, and I had service, but just like 3 or 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And it says 749, 499. And I looking at the specs and the phone, I'm like, this thing looks really freaking nice. And I said, buy now.
mhm.
I paid, had it within 2 days, and threw my Boost Mobile SIM card in there, and boom, works fine. Works great. It's a really good phone. It's a solid phone. I mean, I got nothing bad, really bad to say about it, other than updates, which is not the phone's fault. That's just Motorola, Lenovo, whoever. I mean, it amazes me and it kills me how all of these Android manufacturers making these Android phones has access to the updates that Google puts out.
Yeah,
But I mean, in a phone that costs 750 new, it's supposed to be a flagship model phone, they can't take the time to take one of their top phones and give it reasonable updates. I mean, bi-monthly updates. I mean, like I said, even freaking quarterly updates to be better than nothing at all. But I mean, I'm on February patch. We're in August, and there's no new security patches for that phone
oh, wow.
so far. And that's what's so bad about it, is just that they seem to make a good phone like the Edge Plus, and they don't give it the updates. I mean, like I said, I don't care about 12, 13, 14, whatever. I don't care. Security patches are 100 times more important.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll use the phone right now Android version 11 and not think twice about it, because guess what? Every app that works on 14 works on 11. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or 13 or 14, whatever. It still works on Android version 11. I don't care about, I mean, Android 12 was a dumpster fire anyway. And 13 kind of helped some of that out, but which it wasn't that bad for all phones. But security patches to me is where you keep your phone the best whatever. You know what I'm saying. But
Okay, sorry, I was responding to a message there. But let me go ahead and share Metro by T-Mobile deals now. I don't know if people are interested in that. Okay, let's see.
Well, I'm gonna respond here to Maine. It says you get what you pay for. Well, that phone is Motorola Lenovo's one of their top phones. Okay, the phone was not cheap at release. Now they sold it. Now just because they sell it $499 does not mean that there's a cheap junk. No, this is a top tier phone.
Yeah.
They came out just last year with Android 12, and they've only gave it up to February so far. Now somebody else may have one that's current on updates. I don't know. It maybe it's the fact. I don't know what the deal is. The thing is these companies, they have access to update their phones, keep them current. I mean, it ain't like, and most of them just, now that could be a completely but I think a lot of it is the fact that they want you to waste your money. They want you to go out here. They want you to buy this phone 1 year. They give it nothing, so you go out and buy the next year's version that gives you just very slight updates and gives you the later version of Android, and say, okay, here's you an all new upgraded phone, when you're basically getting the same thing you got the previous year. It's all a money racket.
It is. I mean, I think I feel like smartphones is like a pyramid scheme in a way. We maybe not a pyramid scheme, but you guys know what I mean. Like, I think over time, it's just like buying a car, right? You have it for a few years, you want a newer model, but nowadays,
Hmm.
who can afford to buy a car, right? And it's kind of like the same thing with smartphones, and that's why most people are staying with their smartphones for a couple of years now, rather than upgrading every year, because it's really just not worth it to upgrade, especially with marginal updates that most people don't even use.
Yeah, I mean, and have you noticed a trend? Where it's like, well, oh, they only give 3 years of OS updates or 4 years of OS updates. How many people, unless you're one of those who keeps their phones until they just fall apart on you, is going to keep your phone 3 or 4? I mean, they shout at Google for giving their Pixel phones 3 years of OS updates.
Uh-huh.
Whenever they pretty much know they're going to buy the Pixel 8 when it comes out or
Mhm.
whatever, if they keep it for 3 years, which most people can't do that, but I mean, people that do that, just because it only gets 3 years of OS updates, it's going to get security patches for 5 years, and the phone is going to way surpass, you know, I mean, what is it? The Pixel 7 Pro came out with what? Android 12
Mhm.
or 13? 13.
Yeah.
So it'll go through Android 16. My God, we're only on 14. That
Yeah.
phone's going to get 14, 15, and 16. And by then you're going to want a new phone. And I'm thinking, why is everybody sitting there shouting at all these companies who give 3 years, of OS updates when all along they're not going to keep that phone for that long. And if you do, it's going to be supported for
Hmm.
years. I mean, my Pixel 2 XL is still supported. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it don't get updates anymore, but it can run the exact same apps that a brand new phone can. So what's the like I say, it's security patches. That's where it's at.
I could definitely understand the frustration, especially when it comes to security patches. I just take a quick moment to go over some of the comments here. Latrell says, "I don't know about the security updates like that." And then we got Orly G saying, "What's up? What's up, Orly G? Long time no see, buddy. Hope everything's doing good." But yeah, as far as that goes, like the only Android, I guess, phone that I know that is consistent with their security patches is Pixel. Man, that's the only one that I know. Like, any of those older TCL phones, like you're not gonna get them every month. Maybe every quarter or something like that. I don't know. Every quarter is like four months, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean Latrell. I mean, yeah, I mean when I say talk about security patches being more important, I mean like if there is a known problem and the manufacturer just don't care enough to put an update out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, to me, everybody gets all up in arms whenever the Pixel update every month does not come out on the first Monday of the first week of the first month. Everybody gets all crazy, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I get crazy.
who get? Do what?
I'm like, oh yeah, I get crazy when I don't see that update logo on top of my.
And see, I'm thinking, and if people want to say, well, Samsung's doing it better now. Well, guess what? My Pixels are on August, while my Samsungs are still on July. Does it matter? No.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it is, what if there's a problem with that security patch for August? What if they found a problem with it? Would you rather release it? I mean, but with Google, it's always a lose lose. If they're late with an update, they want to bash them. But if they release an update that makes their phone crash or have problems, then they're going to get bashed for that as well. So if they would have waited a week, they're going to get bashed. If they release it with problems, they're going to get bashed. So I mean, it's kind of a lose lose.
I
You know
mean,
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
at the end of the day, we know that these updates are never going to be perfect, and there's going to be something that they miss that they end up having to update a week or two
Hmm.
ways. So I mean, I don't usually complain. I mean, it's been very rare that I get like an update where it's like I notice something very noticeable. Like,
Yeah.
right now I'm on Android beta. I think I'm on the 14 beta with the Pixel 7 Pro, and there was, I think, when it was on the second. Was on when it was on beta 2, I was experiencing like a lot of issues with the device itself. Like I would get like battery life, like the little battery life thing on top was just bad. And then I couldn't access like wallpapers or anything like that. So it was kind of weird. Bloxy Plays says, "Can I please have a shout out? Shout out to you, Bloxy Plays." I don't know if that's bad.
Yeah, I kind of want to. It says have to be practical. If the tech is greatly improved, okay, but 10% incremental upgrades or not upgrades, just taking advantage of your must-have shiny new problem. Exactly. So it's kind of like with the S22 Ultra and the 23 Ultra. Okay, I want to, I wouldn't mind having the 23 Ultra, but they was giving nothing for trade-ins, and even now they're still not giving that great. But they had a 108 megapixel camera in 22 Ultra to give it a 200 in the 23 Ultra, and from some of the reputable people that I watched, it really does give really good camera comparisons. Some will say that really the only difference in cameras between the 22 and 23 Ultra is nighttime photos, and the video might be a little bit crispier. Which honestly, my 22 Ultra takes some very crispy videos. Now, and they also went from the 8 Gen 1 to the 8 Gen 2. Does that warrant you spending $1,000+? I don't. I mean, if my 22 Ultra was $1,400, now I traded in my 21 Ultra for it, and they gave me like $7 something for it, so I paid like $7 something for the phone. Okay, I spend $750 to $800 for the phone. I keep it for 1 year, and they're going to give me $500 in a trade-in and charge me $1,300 for a 23 Ultra. So I'm still going to be deep into the hole just for a slightly bumped up camera and 1 gen newer processor. When the screen's the same, the body's the same, the milliamp hour battery's the same. Pretty much everything is the exact same except for the processor and a slight bump in the camera, and they want to call that an upgrade. That's not a freaking upgrade.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I don't see the point in upgrading every year now. Like just because, like you said, they're very incremental upgrades, but at the same time, also it's like you don't really need to at this point. Like if this was 2015, okay, I need to upgrade because Apple's gonna give me a chip that's like 100% more efficient than the last year's version. You know what I mean, or something like that. It's gonna go from a 25 milliamp battery into to a 5,000.
Yeah.
To the others, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna upgrade because look at that increase, right? But
if you go from like a 720p 60 hertz refresh rate to a 1440 120 hertz, that's considered a major upgrade in the display.
Yeah, for most of the people on here though, they're most likely using 1080p screens still on their smart devices if they're not like using flagship phones though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Squatchin Main said I had the same dilemma keeping the S21 Ultra. It's still, like I believe like if anything past, I feel like anything past, if you have a Samsung 20 and on, you're fine. Like even getting those FE edition phones would be fine. I don't think there was any issue with those.
I mean, I had the 21 Ultra. I freaking loved it. I had that titanium color with the carbon fiber look on the camera. I absolutely loved that phone. The phone, but see, the problem with mine is for some reason mine could do nothing and get so freaking hot, and it would just kill the battery. Plus, when the 22 Ultra came out, I didn't think that an S Pen would be that important, but now if you're a YouTuber and you got to sign documents here and there, that S Pen is a lifesaver sometimes. I mean, I've had to sign documents from companies, and instead of them having to not fax me, but email me something, I got to print it out on paper, sign something, put it back into a printer, print it back out to them, somehow email it back, all that crap. I can just go to Samsung Docs, or Documents. I can go in there, take my S Pen out, sign my signature, date this, date that, boom, send it back as an email. It's done within a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I mean, that S Pen has been, to me, just a few times I've used it, it's been like, wow. But as far as a major difference in what I see from the 21 Ultra to 20 to the 20 Ultra. Other than the massive heating problem. Now my 20 Ultra doesn't get hot, but not as hot as my 21 Ultra did. 21 Ultra was a fantastic phone, and I've thought several times. I'm like, the only way that I would trade up from a 22 Ultra to a 23 Ultra just to get the newer process, because it did help the battery life with the 8 Gen 2. Okay, cameras I don't care about. The cameras are great. The 21 Ultra, 2 Ultra, 3 Ultra, they're all great. All right. But I would trade for the 23 Ultra, but my stipulation would be they'd have to give me the 512 gigabyte RAM version for free. They'd have to give me $1,000 trade in for my 22 Ultra. Then I would trade. $750 going to cut it. $1,000. I pay out of pocket $200. I would trade. I would trade mine in. But so I gave it a pretty high standard to myself. They're going to have to give me $1,000 trade-in credit plus 512 gigabyte storage. That's what I have now, my 22 Ultra, and then I'll trade. Anything under that, I'm not trading. So I gave myself a pretty high standard there, so I won't end up just trading at whatever they throw at me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you never know. You might see like higher trade-in offers during the holidays.
Yeah.
Or even early next year when the new, obviously when the new device comes out and we get the S24 Ultra or whatever they call it. They should just call it like the Ultra Max Mega. The Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra Max Megaphone.
Yeah, they offered you $750 for your 21. No need going in debt for little. Yeah, I mean, if you don't need an S Pen, there's no reason to trade from 21 to 22 Ultra or 23 Ultra. There is none. I mean, because I ask people, and I've worked in places before where I've dealt with cell phones, and people come in, and I'm like, "What are you looking for in a cell phone? What is the most important thing in a cell phone?" And they always, and every one of them will tell you almost the exact same thing. How good is the camera?
Yep.
How is the screen? How is the battery life?
Yeah, pretty much.
They don't ask you the processor. They don't ask you the RAM, the storage. And I'm like, there's more to a phone than that. But we get online and we quote off all these specs, and most people don't even know, or just a general has no idea.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, you can have a good camera, good battery life, a good screen, but if you're rocking a Snapdragon 400 or 3 gigabytes of RAM and your storage is like 64 gigs, you ain't gonna be able to utilize a whole lot. So I'm like, well, those things are important, but you also need to know what kind of performance your phone's gonna be putting out as well. So battery life, camera, display. They really don't. And how big is the screen? They want the biggest screen possible. And so I'm like, well, this right here is a good choice, but this here is a little bit more expensive, but you're going to be getting a better processor, a better running experience. It's not going to lag up on you as bad. You can be able to use your social media apps, because everybody that I've talked to, uses those things. And I'm like, yeah, you can get this phone right here, but for $50 more, $30 more, you're going to get a better experience with this than this, even though it may not be the same name brand as what you want. Just stuff like that. I try to educate people, and sometimes it can, people can get under your skin. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a person that kind of loses. I lose my patience pretty quickly sometimes, because people ask you some of the dumbest questions. Which, I mean, when you look at them, they're not really dumb questions, because us who's been doing this stuff for so long, it's just common knowledge, and we seem to forget that.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, it's kind of like when I used to work in construction. People would ask you questions. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard somebody say. But then I think, well, this is something that I do for a living. So it's easy for me to understand it whenever they've never done it before,
Mhm.
so they wouldn't know. So why did I just say that for? Same way
Yeah.
in the cell phone department. Somebody could ask me a question. I'm like, are you stupid? You know what I'm saying? But then I think, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for over 10 years. This is what I study. They don't study this stuff. So, you know, I'm like, I'm sorry for that. I've been
Yep.
doing this for a long time. I know you're not really used to this kind of stuff, you know, um, because, but today everybody's a tech pro. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that watches YouTube watches 3 YouTube videos and they're all of a sudden they're a pro. You know what I'm saying? They know everything.
Yeah.
So,
No, I understand also, man. Like, I'm having to really keep my patience, especially with my mom and my dad, because they're in their 70s already. They're not very tech savvy. My mom, she was primarily Android, and then over the last couple of years, I transitioned her to iPhone. So, it's been a learning curve for her. So, like, she's been recently making like a lot of Facebook reels, right? She likes listening to like oldies music, so she'll put like a reel together, and she'll ask me about this and this and that and whatnot, and I'm just over here like I just tell myself like, like I'm over here, I'm kind of just gasping. But not just with her, like, I work in retail, right? So part of my job is dealing with an app, right? Like customers have to use an app to place a specific order with us. So sometimes they'll actually go into the store and be like, "Hey, I'm having trouble with my apps," and I'm like, "Well, we're not really IT. Like, I can't do anything about it if if
hmm
something's wrong with it." They're like, "Oh, well, I tried placing an order, but I can't because I'm not logged in. How do I log in?" And I just cover my head, or I
you,
just kind
you,
of bite my tongue.
you know what really irks you is whenever you tell somebody the same thing 4, 5, 6, 7 times and they still ask you how to do this or
Yeah.
do that. I'm like, I told you 6 times now. You know, I'm like, your main focus needs to be off social media, and because you got that down to a freaking T. You
Hmm.
know, if you need, you need to know how to use your phone, because you know, I'm like some of the most basic stuff. I'm like, I've told you this 4 or 5 times. I just forgot. I'm like, you didn't forget how to use social media, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, well, no. I'm like, that's because that's all you really care about. If you want to know about your phone, when I tell you this for the 10th time, you need to remember it. I'm like, and it's also funny those people that that never talks to you, never has nothing to do with you in the world until they got a tech problem with their phone. Then who's the first person they come to?
Hmm.
You. I'm like, you
Yeah.
don't. I'm like, I haven't spoken to you in 6 months. If you got a phone problem, go to Verizon and let them help you out, or I'm gonna freaking charge you if you ask me. I mean,
Right.
that's just the kind of person I am. I'm like, don't come to me 6 months and not talking to me whatsoever with your phone questions. If you can talk to me on a regular basis, then don't come to me with your tech problem 6 months down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I mean, that might sound like a jerk move, but I mean, I think that's kind of what a lot of people would say. I'm like, well, Verizon would charge you $50 probably to diagnose you this problem, so I'll charge you half that. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, because everybody wants something, they want something for nothing, and they want things never done for free. And for most people, I'll be a help as much as I can be, but after a while, it kind of gets annoying.
It does, you know what I mean? Like I said, I try to be as patient with my mother as I can. But like, I'll give you another example, right? Like, I mean, I would consider myself like a casual tech enthusiast. I don't go like super hardcore into a lot of,
Yeah.
but like, I have family also that will like bug me about like helping them fix their printer, or like getting their printer to work. Or another example, like I was at one of my relatives' house maybe a couple weeks back, and one of their uncles passed away, and they were going through some of this, their old stuff, and like they thought what was a TV, they thought something was a TV box that ended up being a computer. and I was like, they're like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh, that's a Mac Mini." Like most people don't know what a Mac Mini is, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And I know because I've had them, and I use one. I use one to video edit on occasion. I have, it's like a backup computer for me also. And I'm part of Apple's ecosystem, et cetera, like that. But like a lot of people don't know what like a MacBook is or an iMac, or they don't know what the difference between Mac and PC is. And it's such a learning curve. Like I guess because I've been using both for quite some time now. I used Macs as a younger kid, and then I transitioned from Mac to Windows in adolescence, and then going to college, I went back to Mac, and kind of just back and forth, right? The only thing that's really kind of hard to differentiate is like the programs that go with these computers, or Macs in general, and how they update, and the longevity and the usability of them, basically, like the ease of use of it, basically, right? Not that a lot of people sit at home and are on Facebook on their desktop anymore at home like they were like 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But everyone's just on their phone or tablets now, or iPads. But it's funny because I have a sister who's 10 years older than me, who will still sit on her computer. She will still sit on her MacBook. Her and her husband they have MacBook Pros, right? They usually have top of the line tech. My brother-in-law, he's a little more tech savvy than her, but she has her iPhone. She has an iPad, but I still see her sitting on the couch with her laptop on her lap, scrolling through Facebook or whatever. And I'm just like, what the heck? I'm telling myself, and I tell her, I'm like, I tell her, sister, why are you still using a laptop? Like, what do you use that for? Like, besides ordering from Amazon, which you can do on your iPad, which you can do on your phone. Like, what, like, are you using? Are you doing any like are you on Microsoft Excel, or are you on like PowerPoint or something, like, what I mean? Are you video editing, like, things like that, to that nature? So
I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you I am stupid at computers.
Oh, man.
At computers, I couldn't tell you how to get to a file explorer, without having to search for it, because I'm just that dumb. I don't use computers. I have a computer that I got back in 2013, and it still works. It's 10 years old, but hey, it still works. I mean, if I do need it, like some of my gaming headsets for like the EQs and the firmware updates, you must have a computer for that. So I use it for stuff like that. Really, I don't use it. I mean, I am so much more efficient. I can get something. I can pull the computer out and get my Samsung Galaxy or my Pixel or my one or whatever, and I can get something done in a quarter of the time on my cell phone than I could on a computer. But that's just cause I have, I guess you say, mastered my cell phone to the point to where it's just so much more efficient for me. I can and they're so blaming faster than computers are now. And it's just crazy. And it's just like the same way with editing. I can get something edited on a phone in no time, whereas if I was on where I used to edit on a computer, it took me forever. So but that's just I mean, everybody's different. I mean, there are people just use nothing but computers, and I'm like, hey, if that's what you want to use, have that great big boulder on your lap, whatever, I don't care. I want to sit here with my smartphone to be done. You know what I'm saying, to be done with it, because this is a lot easier for me. But that's just what I've learned to use and what I've used everything for, whether it's like I said, order from Amazon. If I'm selling something or buying on eBay, or on anything, a cell phone, I can just done.
Very true. I'm kind of the same way now in that aspect, but like if this was 5 years ago, I would probably be like still like taking a picture, sending it to my computer like through email, and then uploading those pictures to post on eBay or something like that. But now you can just do everything from the single app itself, right?
Yeah. I mean, now, like you say, eBay. If you gotta sell something, you can take a picture of it, get on your eBay on your phone, upload photos.
It's a much simpler process now.
It is. God, it's so simple.
I do most of my video editing on my Pixel 7 Pro, or I even do it on my iPhone, right? But if I want to get more detailed when it comes to the video editing, then I'll then I'll either airdrop my videos to again my Mac Mini, or I will import them to my desktop and I'll do the videos from there. I feel like I'm like in the middle of like wanting to use the my phone more for everything, but I still like to use my computer for other things. You know what I mean? Like right now, like I'm live streaming. I don't like to live stream on my phone. I like to set up my stream on my computer, where I have a big screen to look at and I can see everything. And if I wanted to, I can connect another monitor to this and have a secondary screen to look at other things. I'm not a gamer in any aspect, but this PC that I'm using, it's a gaming PC. I built a gaming PC so that I can play PC games, but I really only used it for like video editing and streaming. And I can see the dust coming out of the back of one of the fans, and I'm like, oh, I should probably clean this thing. You know what I mean? But I mean, I have dogs and I have cats, so there's dog and cat hair going everywhere. But it's still running, and it's got I have two SSDs in it with like 5 fans. It's not water cooled or anything, but I think for it having 5-year-old specs, I think I built this like in 2017 or maybe 2018. It's got an older graphics card, and it's definitely nothing like what you have now nowadays, but I think it's decently spec'd for what it was 5 years ago. It's still relatively fast. It's running Windows 10 Pro. I never upgraded to Windows 11. I really don't care for Windows 11, but Windows 10 Pro runs just fine on it. It's again super snappy. I can go back and forth between screen without any issues. Exporting videos, when I did video edit on it, wasn't the time wasn't very bad or anything. Let's see. Squatchin Main says, I have a monster setup. I bet you do if you work in IT and you're an IT specialist. So, definitely any tech head, is going to want to have like, and the cool thing about it is I can upgrade this PC. Like it has 16 gigs of RAM and like, a Ryzen 5 processor or whatever, but I could literally just go and buy an updated processor, add more RAM, and boom, like I'm set, you know what I mean? And get a better graphics card. And I'm good, you know what I mean? Maybe just get better cooling for it, but that's it. I don't really have to, go and buy a new shell for it or anything like that. It's basically got everything. It's got a very good motherboard on it and whatnot. So it is what it is, though. Everyone's gonna have like differences on opinion, and most people just want to go buy the newest and latest tech. But me, like if like a lot of people say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Whatever works for them.
I tell you, I wouldn't know the first thing about building a PC. I mean, I would be like, this goes where? That goes. I mean,
what? Like, again, like I told you, I'm more of a casual tech enthusiast. But for me, like, I guess growing up, my dad would bring home computers from work all the time, from his job. And I would open them up and I would kind of mess around with them and look at the components and kind of see what did what. And, I back then I would do a little research, like, oh, what does what, and like, what do you need? Obviously now, like, it's really not as hard now. Like, basically you can like buy like pre-built setups, like, like the motherboard and the processor. You do have to have like a specific processor depending on the motherboard, right? There's different styles of chips that you can put into those motherboards. That's why, you have your, I forget what they're called, like your A3s, your A4, there's different sizes. You have your different types of RAM. Also, you have your DDR3 or DDR4, your DDR5. You know what I mean? There's, again, different generations. Those are just like, it's just a generational thing, though. Like, some motherboards will only work with specific RAM. Some motherboards will only work with specific CPUs. And of course, GPUs not so much, but really you need to get a GPU that will kind of again be kind of compatible with the chipset as well. So like if you're using like a Ryzen processor, you want to get something that will work with it. You know what I mean? Specifically. So, and again, I'm not like a super geek about it.
Over my head. I
have a few SSDs in there. I think the hardest part for me when I was building this PC was the wiring. The wiring was the most frustrating thing, because you really have to kind of like, if you buy a pre-built PC, the ones with the see-through glass on the side that have LEDs and everything, those are built nice and you don't see any wires. But when I built my PC, I was like, oh shit, why do I see wires wires everywhere? So you kind of have to do like wire maintenance, and you have to kind of figure out where you're gonna put a specific set of wires or connections. That way, you don't see everything. Now, mine, you do see a little bit of wires, but it's not to the point where it's like, okay, like ugly, you know what I mean? But it's definitely not like if you go to Best Buy and look at one of those pre-built PCs and it just looks nice and pretty, you know what I mean? But hey, mine works. I can add like three or four hard drives if I wanted to, and it is what it is.
One thing I want to ask you here, I've noticed when you're talking and I'm sitting here quiet, this thing is bouncing around like crazy. Like, do you hear any interference or anything coming?
I hear a little bit of an echo, a little bit. It's not too bad, but I have my headset on, so I know it's not coming from me because usually it's like an external speaker or something. I don't know.
Okay, I was wondering because on my end it's really clear, and I was kind of he was talking, and I was seeing where the volume bar down here wasn't moving, but it was showing the little gray area expanding. That's kind of what I was wanting to know.
And I do have echo cancellation turned on, so I don't know what's going on with that exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, a 10-minute consultation to figure out what you need, what you want. Not that, yeah. I mean, it don't take me that long to learn stuff. I can learn stuff pretty quickly. It just takes me a little bit of time. And if I'm interested in it, now you can talk to me for an hour about something, but if I ain't interested in it, I'm blocking most of it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just the way I am. But I was going to say something a minute ago, and I swear I forgot what it was. Now I got. I tell you, my remembrance is like.
We still got 7 people watching, so shout out to all of you guys.
Okay, yeah, I know what I was going to say. I think tell me if you think this is what you think about this. I think one of the worst things. Now, I know a lot of these cell phone companies, like Samsung, OnePlus, Apple, all of these. I think getting rid of the headphone jack was one of the dumbest things they've ever done.
I agree.
And the reason why I say that is because, like right now, I'm talking to you through a wired gaming headset on a phone right now that I have a headphone jack on. And see, like if I wanted to make a video, and the sound quality is a lot better when you are talking through a microphone like I'm talking to right now. Whereas if I was to unplug this thing, you'd hear an echo sound. It would be more broad and wouldn't sound as. But I could put on a gaming headset on Bluetooth, hook it to myself, like my Galaxy 22 Ultra, and I cannot get any sound to come out of it. I cannot. When I talk through it, it's like the sound is coming. It's like it's picking up to the microphone on the phone, even though I have Bluetooth connected, and no matter what I do, it just will not work. I know why these companies do it because all these companies have their own,
their own
earbuds, their Galaxy Buds, they have, the AirPod, all this stuff. And they got rid of the headphone jack because they want you to spend the $200 for their Pixel Buds and stuff like that. I mean, it ain't because of this, that, or the other, or because it's outdated. It's just because they want you to spend $200 or plus for their dedicated, Bluetooth headphones. We know that. You have to change source of mic. See, that's the problem. There is nowhere on the phone that gives me a place to change the source. Like whenever
it could be my microphone. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what setting I have mine on. Testing. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you.
I have a gain in the back, that's why, but I don't really have it that high.
And I think a lot of times where there may be a little bit of echo is what kind of phone you're using as well. Like I'm using a Unihertz phone right now. So if I was to put this headphone jack into like a Galaxy A14, it would probably completely cut out if there's any echo. But I can't find my A14 at the moment, so I can't. And there's no phone. Yeah.
Okay, because I do hear a little bit of an echo, but I don't know. It could be coming from me. It could be my headset, honestly.
Because I am using HyperX Cloud 3s with a really not, I mean, this thing right here has no echo whatsoever. Not supposed to anyway.
Hello.
I hear you.
It could be the stream also. Restream kind of messes things up sometimes also.
But like whenever I'm wanting to do a video using a gaming headset with Bluetooth, because I have Razer headsets, I have Corsairs, I have Lucid Sounds, I have
Uh-huh.
SteelSeries, I got all these different headsets, and they all have most of them have Bluetooth compatibility where you can hook them to your phone, and there's nowhere where you can change the source of audio, which I think is stupid. Um, I tried it today,
Yeah.
could not get it to work for nothing.
Mhm.
But you plug in 3.5, and boom, it's going to work regardless. It's just going to route the voice from the from the phone mic to the microphone it's using instead of. But
Mhm.
I still, but like I said, they're even phasing it. I mean, like the A54, I wish they would have left it on because they had it on the A53, but they took it off on the A54. Which A54 is a solid phone, other than the performance being kind of processor sucks. But
Mhm.
the phone is great in every other way, but the processor. But even, I mean, I got a feeling that you can start seeing that trickle down to the A20 series and then the A10 series. You're just going to get rid of it in general. But I really miss the headphone jack. And some will say that's not important. That's not needed anymore. You got Bluetooth. Well, yeah, Bluetooth is really nice to have, and you're going to have Bluetooth regardless. But
Mhm.
having a headphone jack really helps in certain situations. Um, so I mean, it's just
I understand because I was using lavalier mic, wireless lavalier mics with the Pixel 5a, and all the phones I got after that lost their headphone jacks. The only phone that I have right now that still has a headphone jack, I believe, is the Moto Stylus from last year, which I have, but I really haven't really used it to use that phone jack for anything basically. And I believe the Samsung A23 5G as well. I do have that one. That one does have a headphone jack as well. I don't believe that the A54 has a headphone jack though, from what I remember though. Nope, no
yeah,
headphone jack on that, sadly.
yeah. I have one of those stand-up microphones or external microphones. Like you see, like people with the built windscreens in the front. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They plug it to USB C or Type A or whatever to a computer. Um, well, I have one of those to plug it says works on every cell phone. Well, it's Type C. So you'd figure that when you plug into a Type C, you go to a camera or whatever, it's going to give you the option to source your audio. I can only get that microphone to work on my 22 Ultra. I could plug it into a Pixel. I could plug it into my One Plus. Any phone that I plug it into will not let me use that microphone as the sound.
Wow.
Only my Galaxy. And I'm like, it's just so ridiculous that because on my Galaxy, when I plug in the Type C from the microphone, it actually has a little button and it says internal mic, external mic, and I push external mic and boom, it works fine. But on my Pixel phones, any of their phones, it gives you no option to change nothing anywhere you look. And I start recording, and
Yeah.
I hit the mic and nothing. I'm like, oh my god, like what? Works on every Android phone with using Type C, but it just simply does not work. And which
Yeah.
at least it does work with one of the best phones I have for recording video, which is a major plus. And
Hmm.
I don't use DSLR cameras. I don't go in for all that stuff. I mean, my whole channel is ran from a cell phone. You know, I
Yep.
know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with DSLR cameras. They're fantastic. They're great. I just prefer to use because I mean, with a cell phone, it's just easier for me. The quality is good,
Hmm.
and everything is built in. I mean, I'm subscribed to an editing app that's got some really good editing effects. Everything is just built right into one little hand unit in my little Galaxy phone to do everything. So I'm just like, I'm not going to have a DSLR with a an SD card slot and have to transfer to here to there to transfer from there to here and then has to do this and this and that. Nah, to me it's just a lot easier to do it the way I do it. But you know, um,
I understand. I definitely understand. I mean, there was a time when I was just filming on my phone, but then when I wanted to kind of film higher quality stuff, and this goes back to me going back to school when I doing video editing stuff, I decided to invest in a camera. So I bought an SLR. I did buy an SLR, and I was filming on a DSLR for a couple of years actually. But it did become tedious, having to put the SD card in, taking it out, buying different lenses also to kind of get better lighting and better quality looks on the camera. Right, you do have to invest in lenses as well. And again, I got a good look, but I think the one trade off for me was like the autofocus on phones are just way better than using the SLR cameras. Again, you're not going to get as good of bokeh on phones as you would get on an SLR, especially on pictures and filming during some filming. But as far as stabilization goes, like now compared to 5 years ago, like now, like phones are pretty much up to par when it comes to filming video. Compared to, again, like when I bought an SLR back in like 2016, 2017, when phone cameras were still not really, up to par when it came to, the film or the videos just looking good in general.
Yeah, and I mean, as good as cell phones can take pictures, I mean, you can take some. I mean, I have seen some, 10 pixel photos from people that's like shot with taken with pixel that would blow your mind, on some of these. I mean, I have seen some crazy, because another room is a Google TV and 65-inch 4K Google TV. And I have seen some pictures people has taken out in some of these really beautiful places, taken on a pixel. And I'm like, how in the world did you get a photo that good? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, photos that you would have never, ever thought would have been possible on a cell phone 10 years ago. You're like, wow, but the lenses will still never be as big and be able to do as much as like a DSLR camera. Cause the lenses are freaking huge, on a DSLR camera, and you can only put just so big of a lens sensor on a cell phone. I mean, you can give it a 1-inch lens, fine, but it's still never going to be on the same level. But if you're just sitting there behind a camera doing a phone unboxing or a phone review, the autofocus and the clarity now recording in 4K is so smooth, and the transition on focus is so smooth. It's so. I mean, with DSLRs, I know I've noticed. I mean, I've seen some of your videos in the past where it's like you cannot get your focus right. I've heard you say you can't get my focus right, and I'm like, that would drive me nuts because you got to sit there and like manually focus it, right?
Yeah, well, mine actually had autofocus feature. The digital camera that I had, or the SLR camera I had, did have it, but sometimes you would still have to kind of tap the screen to focus on whatever subject you wanted to. It was actually easier to just use manual focus sometimes rather than having to do that. But when it was clear, it looked extremely good. Also at the same time. So again, it just really depends. On the situation for me. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen those videos where they just it would famously go out of focus, and I would get super frustrated. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna refilm this. I'm just gonna fucking let it fly. I didn't care, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that I've noticed with using DSLR is sometimes you're in lower light, and you absolutely see no graininess.
Yeah,
grain, and that's because of the camera sensor is so freaking big, letting all that letting in all the light possible, where cell phones just can't do that. I mean, you can have the best camera in the world on your cell phone, but if you get to a certain type of lighting, you're going to have that nasty fuzzy grain. That's just inevitable. I mean, like I can sit in the living room making a video, and probably the phone that has the least bit of noise is my 22 Ultra. Even in lower light, but unless my ring light is shining, at least, low to medium, to where all the grain goes away, you're going to have some kind of good lighting, where I've seen you record in pretty low light in some of your videos with no grain. It's just clear.
Very.
And so, you'll never be able to replace as far as being able to record in all situations like you will on a DSLR or something like that. But I think for the most part, dude, you can, you can literally, go outside, and if you're an outside recorder and you're doing stuff outside, doing some crazy stuff out, there's some things that phones can do now, man. That I mean, you can do some really crazy, whacked up stuff with your cell phone cameras, And if you didn't tell people what you was using, most people wouldn't ever think that it come from a cell phone, because you got so many modes and so many this and so many that, and and what they're implementing in their AIs, in their camera systems and all, is just ridiculous. I mean, so for me, I just stick with what I've been using. I try to get all the graininess out that I can, and I record now every video in 4K 30 or 60, because my speeds are faster now than they used to be, and don't take forever to upload like it used to. You know what I'm saying? So depending on the video, if this video is not that important, I still may record in 1080p 30, maybe 60, depending on my mood. But most time now, 4K does kind of clean up some of that fuzz or some of that,
Yeah, the only thing I hate about shooting in 4K, especially on phones, it does give you a bigger crop, right? So you really have to kind of set up your shot a little bit differently. Some of the newer phones don't do that as badly. But for me, like even like with prior phones, like you would really notice that crop when it came to 4K, and even like phones like on the Pixel, like even if you're just you go from regular camera mode to video mode, you're gonna notice that it pushes up the crop a little bit, and it's the same thing with DSLRs. Like depending on what lens you lose, you're gonna end up getting a crop. So there would be times where I would have to move my camera back because like the crop was just so close to whatever I was trying to film. So that could get annoying. You know what I mean? I don't know how it is for you when you're using your S20, what is it? The S23 Ultra?
22.
Okay, the S22 Ultra. But yeah, for me, it's like when I'm trying to film, on my my Pixel 7 Pro, I get that crop big time, and it could be annoying sometimes, honestly.
Yeah, and the 22 Ultra in 4K or 1080 don't change. Thankfully, it does not change front or rear camera. It stays the same distance. Now, like Maine says, large file sizes are harder to work with. Well, like if I record a video, sometimes I'll record a 45-minute video, and by the time I'm done editing it, it'll be 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, the 40-minute video that I record in 4K 60, because I have a speech problem, and a lot of times stuff that's in my mind I can't get out through speech. It's like it's blocked and I cannot get it, and the video just drags out, or I repeat myself 10 times. It's not
I'm the same.
It's not always as noticeable like on a live stream, because it's funny. You can sit in front of a camera on a live stream and just talk. But when you sit behind a camera trying to do a video, it's like it's a whole different ball game. It's like your mind goes blank. You can't remember nothing you wanted to say. I can lay right here and do a whole review in my head. But when I sit behind a camera to get that out, I cannot get out a fraction of what I wanted to say. And so it's like, the file size might be 10, 12 gigabytes of storage in that 30, 40 minutes of 4K 60. But once I'm done with it through Power Director, and I'm exporting it at better bit rate at 60 frames per second at 4K, it's down to about 12, 14 minutes, and the files ends up being around 3 to 4.5 gigs. And it's uploaded in like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So the problem with YouTube is the processing at 4K 60 or 4K 30 takes it takes you longer to it takes longer to process it. And because if you notice it, once it's uploaded and you push play to look at the video, it's stuck in like 360 or 480. Yeah. And it has to process up to HD, up to 4K before you're actually. It takes about an extra hour and a half for it to process legitimately right to be able to release it to where you can change resolutions and everything. I just record in 4K because it cleans up it cleans up what 1080p may have left.
Yeah.
Where 1080p may look really good, but you may see a little bit of 1440. Or I mean 4K will clean up a lot of that excess or some of that mess. But like you say, some phones, especially some phones that are like a year or two, couple years or whatever, some of them, when you go from 1080p to 4K, it's like it's like a freaking 1.5 times zoom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And not just that also, but like the stabilization, like if you're trying to walk with the phone and stuff like that, like the stabilization, it was just not there. I guess as far as the software goes with a lot of those older versions of like iOS and like Android, but now like 4K, they pretty much got it down where like you can walk around with the camera, shoot in 4K and it not be super like messy. It's kind of like a GoPro in a sense, right? Where like where you can be running and moving and there could be shaky, but it kind of just smooths it out. The software smooths it out basically.
Yeah, I mean the stabilization on phones now. I mean, I know the Samsung has those different levels of stability. If you're running or if you're just barely moving, it has like a light to heavy, or if or whatever. I know OnePlus has something similar to that as well. I know Pixel has that. So you could pretty much be running and you can't hardly even tell it's just the stabilization is
it just looks
really
good.
Yeah, it just looks good. You might see a little bit, and now of course the later it gets dusk, it gets evening, you're gonna have those micro jitters that I don't care what kind of stabilization your phone's got. If you're just walking normally, and the least little bump is gonna make that camera jitter. It's gonna look horrible. It's like, if you're going to be using a camera at night to record, you better be sure that you're standing in one place and the phone's on a tripod and you're not really moving it a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're gonna see graininess at night no matter what. Like it doesn't matter what scenario you're in. And unless you're like in a fully lit area that has like LEDs everywhere, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which is very rare. It's very rare, but the best case scenario is like you're in a Target parking lot or something. Like they have really good, decent lighting depending on the parking lot, obviously. But it's still going to be a little grainy depending on what you film. But all right, Stevie, I really appreciate you coming in. I think we're getting close to that 1 a.m. time frame on my end, and I think it's going to be 2 a.m. on your end. So anything else you would like to share before we sign off tonight, though?
No, I think that's going to cover. I thank you for inviting me in here. It was I enjoy getting here chatting with you and talking to all y'all and everything.
Where can they follow you?
They can follow me. Just type in CV Tech. You'll see the picture you see right now on screen is the same one that is my profile picture. Mm-hmm. I will just of course say hey in the chat. Right there I am. If you go to my channel, if you want to subscribe and you ain't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, click that bell. Hopefully notifications will go out.
Hopefully we get it. Yeah. Oh, look, are you commenting on the chat also? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me there. Yeah.
Oh, you're just saying hey.
I said hey. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because of the same picture. Yeah. So look for CV Tech on YouTube. I believe he is on the X app also. AKA Twitter or AKA X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, if you, all my videos in the description is all the information for Instagram, for Twitter, Snapchat's still on there for some reason. I don't use it, but it's there.
Yeah.
And of course, my Twitch is there when I do go live on there, which is very, very, very seldom. But yeah, it's always in the description of every one of my videos. So. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'm most active on there. Instagram is where I most time. If I want to or give like a simple shot from a new phone, I will upload it to Instagram. Tell you what phone it is. You get kind of an idea from there. So yeah, that's what Instagram's for. So follow me there if you want to just see some random stuff. But Twitter's kind of follow me there.
That's the spot. All right. Well, again, I want to give everyone that came into the chat also tonight a big shout out. And again, thank y'all for smashing the like button and it's staying with us almost 2 hours. Actually, I did go over 2 hours today. And here I was only going to stay on like an hour and a half at the most. But we got into the camera talk and
2:14, man.
I love talking about cameras. So yeah, so,
2 hours 14 minutes, man.
Yeah,
That's what's up, though. I mean,
I'm stooping into Magic Tech's territory over here with like the 3 and 4 hour streams over here for you guys each shit. But yeah,
well, I appreciate it, man. Anytime, man. I'm happy to go live anytime. That I get a chance. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, definitely we'll have you back on one of these nights. Maybe you, me, and Magic Tech can stream one of these nights. Also, maybe get Latrell in here. Also, I know the show sounded like he was interested in coming in, and I kind of told him, hey, I'm gonna get off really quick. So I think he took off already. But anyways, another night, guys. Another night.
Oh, most definitely.
All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great night. Enjoy your Saturday. I will be off tomorrow, so who knows? Maybe if I'm bored, I'll get online. I'll do another live stream. We'll see how it goes. I got a birthday party to attend tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, y'all have a great night. Y'all, thank you for being here. And CV Tech, thanks again for joining in for the hour that you were here.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good one, y'all.